Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. I know. It's been a minute since I did a YouTube video. I'm so sorry. I got a new computer, I moved. It's a lot of life updates. But I seen your questions, and as soon as I got a new laptop, I made it my mission to make this my first video to record. So the most questions that I got in my inbox and people told me to constantly talk about is episode for beginners, because as you know, like in my previous YouTube videos, I kind of just started off with, basic like directions, but some people don't even know where to start. And so I never really thought about that. So, well, this video is all about how to get started with episode, aka episode for beginners. Where do you start? How do you start? What do you do? So, the first thing you're going to do is follow me on Instagram. I would greatly appreciate it. I will make sure to give you one-on-one help if you need to point you in the right direction when it comes to artists and maybe looking for templates and things like that. I am your guide. So, ask me for help. I'm more willing to help. Make sure you follow me if you can. It's greatly appreciated. So let's get started. Episode for beginners. Let's start from the basics. The first thing you're going to want to do before you do anything else, think of a title. And not only do you have to think of a title, think about what you want your story to be. Make it mind-grabbing. Make it so the readers are interested. They feel tempted to read it. And I think a lot of times, especially when we're reading episode stories, you see kind of the same concepts, especially with romance, mafia stories, and falling in love with your boss, and coworker on coworker drama. It's a lot of repetitive things. Some people love it, and that's fine. Do what makes you happy. If you want to make a mafia story, make a mafia story, but make it different. Make it unique to you so people can know, you know what, this is that artist so and so, or this is the author so and so, because they stood out to the reader. I know a lot of people don't do it, but I would actually sit down and think of names, plot, backgrounds, what overlays you may need. It seems overwhelming, but it's a great start to a good episode story. Start thinking about your plot, what you want your characters' names to be, what do you want the story to be. That doesn't mean you have to figure it out all right now, but at least get the first 2 episodes written down or have some sort of idea of how you want it to go. The next thing I want you to do, like I said, find a good title, grabbing, you know, something that's going to make the readers like, ooh, I want to read, I want to know what that is about, right? Grab it. Make it, they want to grab the story and take it off the shelf and actually read it. Obviously you can't take it off the shelf, but you know what I'm saying. They want to read it because your title is grabbing. It's interesting. They love it, right? It makes them want to read. And so if you're going to come up with a grabbing title, you need to come up with a grabbing story. So make your story just as interesting as your title. So those are the things you need to utilize before you even think about going on episode.com, right? So obviously, if you haven't made an episode profile, I would recommend you do that. That way you can actually get a hold of, this here. So that's the first thing you're going to do. The next thing I want you to do is get familiar with the episode forum. You're going to need this to promote your story, ask questions about your story, or look for people who are artists, looking for people who have similar questions to you, or if you got a general question, and you'll get a lot of help. Make yourself familiar with the forums. It looks kind of confusing, and maybe I will do a step-by-step of how to actually work the forum if you guys are actually interested in that, but get familiar with it. A lot of people promote, their artwork on here. You may want to buy some art. This is your place. You're looking for someone who may do some overlays. You can find it here. You're looking for people to give free cover art or free overlay or free background in order to get promo. You're going to find it here. You can find on Instagram too, but I feel like you get you'll get faster results if you do it on the forums. So I recommend going on the forums. If you need feedback on your story after you just put it out and you want someone to read for read type of thing, find it on, you can find everything on here. So make yourself familiar with the forum. Please, please, please. The next thing I would do is make yourself familiar with this website, Dara Amari. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Make yourself familiar. She has a whole bunch of templates, a whole bunch of tips and tricks. If you want to incorporate customization, all that stuff, you're going to find it here. As you can see, she has a full customization template for male, female, multiple limelight customization template. She has a whole bunch of things. If I were you, I would, before I even think about making my story, I would take notes on this or even just have it onto the side. Utilize this. I can actually, I would do videos in the future one by one to go in depth in case, some people, they're visual learners. They can't, sometimes reading isn't just good enough. That's me. I need someone to explain it to me, but I'm just saying it's something to look over if you haven't already. So make yourself familiar with this. Like I said, she has tips and tricks, customization, YouTube videos, templates, rules, guides, you name it, she most likely have it. So that is my recommendation before you even think about starting an episode story. Make yourself familiar, do those things. And also before you start your story, what I would do if I were you, look at some backgrounds. You may want to upload your own backgrounds. Like I said, you can find some on the episode forum. Just start typing in episode backgrounds for like castles or nighttime. You're most likely going to find it, especially for free, or you can have someone do it for you for free or for a fee. Start thinking about what you want your cover art to be. This is the things I think make a good writer, is someone who do an outline before they actually get started with the story, if you know what I mean. So get started with get started researching and just get into it, get into it before you even start writing your episode story. So let's say you did all that, you got your backgrounds, you got everything, you read the Dara Amari website, you looked through it, you went to the episode forum, got a good idea, you followed me on Instagram, so you got everything and you're ready to start, right? You're excited, you're ready to start. So the first thing you're going to do, like I said, make sure you have an episode account, log in. So now you're going to see an option called Create New. This is where you're going to start your story here. So here, what you're going to do, you need to have a cover art. I mean, you don't need to have it right now, but just start thinking about what you want your cover art to be. This is where it would be placed, obviously. Think about a nice title, right? What do you want your title to be? Like I said, you want it to be grabbing. You want the readers to be interested. You don't want it to say like The Day at the Beach, something like that. Make it grabbing. Make people want to read it. And then along with a great title, you need a great description. You don't get much characters. You only get 180 characters. And it's not much. It's not much. So you want to grab the readers with 180 characters. So which means you need to summarize and get those readers in. A lot of me, personally, I would, if the description doesn't sound good, like you may have a great story. I'm talking about it may be out of this world amazing. But if the description isn't good and the title isn't good, guess what? I'm not reading it. So take some time and actually make sure you get a good description. You want it to draw in the readers, make them want to read it. Maybe even ask a question. What, so-and-so is going to the breach. Will she survive this? Like, ooh, that's a nice, a description. So get to thinking about it. Like I said, you can also ask help on episode forum, or you can ask me. So I already started one here. So that's what I'm going to personally do. So after you create the title and description, like I said, you don't have to set on a title right now. You don't have to set on the description right now, but it's something you want to do before you put out your first or however many episodes you're going to release. So when you are ready to upload your cover art, this is where you would do it at. You will click this thing here, and this will be your small cover. and this will be your large cover. So I'm pretty sure you guys know what that looked like. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You would upload them here, and I think the thing that goes well with a good title, a good description, is a great cover. Make sure you have a great cover. I know there's people on the episode forum that does them for free. There's some people that uh, they will have you pay for it, or they may just want exchange for promo. Ask episode forums. Get all your resources out there. If you know payment is not in your best interest, or you can't afford it, or it's just not something you want to do, right? That's fine. Like I said, I would just personally recommend look at all your options, see what you want to do. There's a lot of amazing artists on episode forum. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Take a peek, please. Take a peek. So like I said, you don't have to figure out your cover and things right now, but you want to figure it out before you publish your first episode, because how do people want to read it if you don't have a great cover, right? So I'm going to go back because I have nothing to put there. So the next thing you want to do is make characters, right? That's the next thing you want to do. I already made a character, but make sure you make a character. So the first thing you want to do, if you don't know how to make a character, that's okay. I will help you. So the first thing you want to do is click on new character, and it will bring you to this screen. I love the fact that episode is very inclusive. It is lovely. I'm glad that we reached this point. They also have animals. So if you want animals in your story, they have horses, dogs, different colors, different species. Love to see it. Did I say different species? Different breeds. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. So, you can pick one of whichever, you don't have to I guess set on one because you're going to change them anyway. So, just pick one. So, I'm going to pick her and I'm going to name her Sally because why not? That's what we're going to do. So, after you come up with your name, create and save. So I think I have to mention this. So script name and display name. What is that and why is it important, right? Script name is the name you're going to use, obviously, in your script. You guessed it. So when you're referring to this character, that is the name you're going to use. Display character. Is what your readers would see. So a lot of the times it's going to be the same Sally and Sally, but some people, they may name them a character and then they want the display to be different. So just in case, like let's say you want the script name to be like Sally and then you want her to be a ghost, so you may name her Ghost Sally or something. You can do that. It's all up to you and how you want to do it. So, just figure out how you want to do that. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that. And then here you get to come up with the body, here, your eyebrow. I'm just clicking on things. But, make the character, obviously nice looking. Or it may not even matter if you're going to have them do customization anyway. It may not even matter. But that's what I would do. But if you're not going to use customization in yours, then you obviously want the character to look how you want to look. Do you. It's your story. So she looks, marvelous. So after you do that, please, please, please click Save Changes. I know it's self-explanatory, but if you don't click Save Changes, it will automatically go to the default of the character it was before you started making changes, and then you're going to have to do the whole thing over again. Make sure you click Save Changes. And then also just a little tip, you can change the background, you can rotate them, you can zoom in, you can zoom out, change the background color, change the animation. You can do all that. I'm not doing that, but just in case you wanted to see how they look in certain animations, you can do that. The next thing we're going to do is go to outfits. So obviously here you will change the outfit. That's what you'll do here. I'm going to go with Sally. That's the person I want to change. I don't think I'm going to change anything, to be very honest with you, because just why, why not? So obviously episode has so many choices. I love it. There's so many choices. So dress them up, dress them down. This is where you will make all your outfits for your story. This is where you will combine outfits, combine dresses, just put things together. So this will be your best friend, right? So after you come up with an outfit, just because obviously you probably don't want the default, unless you want to use them as a background character. But if you come up with a new outfit, the thing you want to do is you enter the outfit name. So when you do this this is how you refer to an outfit in the story. So if you want them to change an outfit, like maybe you have an outfit choice, or maybe they're going clubbing, so you want to change her outfit for the next scene, you're going to put in the outfit name so the story knows what outfit to choose. So that's something that you want to do. Obviously, I'm leaving at Sally Default, but you can name it Sally, I don't know, Sally Club or clubbing outfit number 1 or whatever the case may be. This will be your best friend, right? So, but like I said, I'm not changing anything, and I will click save. Success. So then after you dress up your characters, you go back to the episode, and that's why we're here. So before we get started, I would take a nice look at some of the basic directing. I have some on my YouTube if you want to take a peek. But just in case you're the type of person who wants to read, I will actually read through it. Episode actually did it. I think they did a pretty good job with basic choices, basic directing, advanced directing, spotlight stories. Why can't I speak English? Complex choices, all this other stuff. They have a bunch of things here I think that you may want to take a peek at before you start your story. I don't know why my voice just went up that high. So sorry. But I already did my thing. So here's speech bubbles, new episode. I'm still working on this one, so I'm going to click new episode. So you can say continue with episode 1. Once you finish with the episode, you will click publish, but we're going to wait and I will show you how to do that as well. So right now, I'm just going to continue with episode 1. So as I was saying, you want your pilot episode or your first episode, this is going to be the introduction to your story. You decide how this goes. My recommendation, obviously, do what makes you happy. Do what makes sense for your story. I like when people make the beginning interesting, right? I'm talking after the customization, if you decide to do customization. Make it interesting, rather it's making it some interesting part of the story. Like, maybe if you haven't figured it all out, that's fine. But, maybe you already have a lot of your episodes planned out, and maybe you want to put a fighting scene or a nice battle scene, like a flash of it, just so people know what they're looking forward to, and it makes readers interested. That's what I would personally do. So take a look at that. Plan that out the best way you can. So I just put a plain old background, nothing exciting, nothing fancy. And when you're placing a character, the first thing you need to do is at the character. If you do not, it will leave an error. You did it right. You will get, obviously, the highlight. If I don't, it's left black. Right? So make sure you use the @ symbol to, you're talking about this character, right? So I put @ Rose stand screen center and Rose faces left. When you're wanting the character to do multiple things in one go, versus making @ Rose stand screen center, @ Rose faces left, @ Rose did this, @ Rose, you can do this here and just use and. I think it's pretty straightforward. I think it's easier than doing all of that. So that's the first thing you would like to do. All right, so this is what she looks like. She's standing, this is screen center, and this is her facing left, right? So as you can see here, I'm gonna make it bigger for you guys to see. There's a couple modifiers here, right? And I go into depth with this in previous videos. Take a look at it. But, show some helpers. This is how you move your camera. Spot directing, speech bubbles, more helpers. This is how you start to create the story and implement it in your script. Like I said, I have different YouTube videos on how to do that. Take a look at them so you can go, it goes more in depth. That way I don't have to fit it all in one video. But this is how you start, right? This is the beginning of your story. So make sure you take a look at those other videos. Like I said, the first thing you want to do is plan it out. Where do you want them standing? Where do you want them facing? How far you want them? How close you want them? Advanced directing does take some time and some skill. I would make myself familiar with a couple of my YouTube videos that I already placed out. It gets into like overlays and things like that. I would recommend watching those, but this is just the beginning. How to get started, how to place characters, and things like that. The other thing that I think you want to get familiar with is basic commands. Like I said, she faces left, she faces right. How to get her to exit the screen, how to get her to enter the screen, or him, I'm sorry, or whatever your character, how to get them to do basic commands. Make yourself familiar with all of that. And like I said, it's pretty easy. So after you make yourself familiar with that, like I said, watch a couple of my other YouTube videos and they will go into more depth about that. But this is the beginning of episode beginner. And just to reiterate everything, make sure you plan out your episode. I think a great successful episode is people who actually plan it versus getting right in there because you're excited. You planning it, you will get the best outcome, in my opinion. Look at some of the backgrounds. You may want to purchase a background from somebody on episode forums. Make episode forums your best friend because you will rely on a lot of folks in here to answer questions, point you in the right direction when it comes to finding covers, or someone who can do it for free, maybe someone you want to purchase from. Make yourself familiar with all of that, right? That's another thing that I would do. Also, I would make sure that you read through her templates, her tips and tricks and things. That way, it's easier for you to know um, how you want to structure your story. So I think that's a good place to start as well. So, like I was saying, also, make sure you follow me on subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do have a couple of videos already posted. How to do gym choices, how to enter and exit. You will need to know that. How to make a label, how to make a choice, a basic dress up game, how to spot direct. You will need to know how to spot direct in your story, and make spot overlays, how to make tappable overlays. This is what you will need in order to have a great episode story. So make sure you check out a couple of those YouTube videos. I will be putting out more YouTube videos on what to do, what not to do, things like that. So make sure you actually take a peek at those. I think they are helpful. And if you have any suggestions or something you want me to go more in depth about, please let me know. I will do my best to get those videos out to you. But this is just a basic how to get started if you never had an episode before, you never seen this. And like I said, you can also upload your own backgrounds by going to the art catalog, clicking backgrounds, and click upload to your account. There is some criterias you need to meet in order to upload them, and here they are in case never you've never seen it. So this is the requirement. And then you can also upload your own overlays as well. Upload your own overlays. This is the requirement. I already have some uploaded here. And if you need like help on how to do an overlay, let me know. I can maybe do a tutorial on that. But you will find a lot of your overlays on episode forums. So I hope this video was somewhat helpful to you. This was a very popular question on my YouTube. Everyone was saying like, how do I even get started? Like I see, you're doing spot directing. I see all these other YouTube videos, but I have no idea how to start. This is your guide to episode for beginners. I will be making other type of content to help episode for beginners. Please let me know what else you want to see. I appreciate you guys so much for subscribing, for commenting, for liking. It means the world to me. Please leave your questions down below. I will do my best to do it in a video, and I appreciate the support. So I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.